And this will hopefully make, this is my pot that I measure everything in when I'm canning. And I've been canning now 20 plus years. So I'm not, you know, I got this at a yard sale years ago. So this determines how many quarts of green beans I have. And this will make at least 7 quarts and maybe 2 pints. So that's good for me. So I'm also in the water bath, we have our jars for the quart jars and also for the pints. And we have to put a lid on because it has to boil at least 20 minutes before we put them into the can.
And how did you prepare them?
Okay, what I did after we picked them, I came and washed them. And then, I wish I had, I got some to show you. Excuse me, Ina. Just take the ends off. And then we just break them. Whatever size you want them to, eating sizes, some people like them longer. I just like to have at least 3 snaps, and then that's what you have. That's the end result.
What do you call that type of bean, Lillie?
This is,
Is it a pole bean?
no, it's in between a pole and a regular bean. It's a bush bean. We have them all covered, and make sure you have a good lid on it. And we're gonna take it to the stove. Let me see, this is I told her I got a new stove. So this is my first time canning on it, so everything is new here. Okay. I started the water bath for the jars a little bit early, just in case. But these are beans and they're ready to boil. These are my instruments that I use, my equipment. I always have them set out because if you don't, you'll forget. And then usually this takes about 2 hours to do.
And do you sanitize these or anything beforehand?
Yes, I put everything in the dishwasher the night before. I used to do it during that day that I can, but just a shortcut, I just make sure that I do the jars. So in the mornings when I get up, I put them in the water bath. You can come over and see them in the water bath. And they have to be hot. Because we're going to put a hot product inside a hot jar. And we don't want it to crack or break. Okay? And we got our jars, and we're getting ready for our beans to boil. And this is what I'm going to use to stir the beans. You want to just keep them stirred. And my product won't fall all over the jar itself. Okay? So we use that. But we're going to let the beans cook for 20 minutes. Okay? Boil them really good, and then we're going to start the process. But let me show you this over here too. This is another thing that we need, which are the lids. And what I do is you want to immerse them in your water. You want them to be hot, but you don't want them to boil, because that will affect or loosen up the rubber. So what I do is I like to do it, I get my jar first, then I place my jar here, and I get the green beans, and then I'm on this side, get my lid. So I have a method, and then I come on this side. Okay? And whenever you got a product in front of your sterilized tops, you want to make sure that nothing gets in it. So I always put green foil on top of it. And then I keep it like that so that I can keep and make sure it is not boiling. Because if it boils, it'll soften up that rubber tip there, and it will not seal. The ones we're using today, some of them, I think I might have a couple that are antiques that I got from some old friends of mine. The curved jars, oh, they're just gorgeous. And they're the same size, but the prints are different. It just looks better. So I'm holding on to them because it's my memories of them down through the years. Out of the same number of beans that I'm cooking today. You know that this product is sealed, because if this middle part in the middle, if it's raised, it is not sealed. So what you need to do is just put it in your refrigerator and eat it within a couple of days. Okay. So it's not like you're just wasting. But you'll see that as we jar the food and I put the lid and screw the top on, and you'll hear them pop, and that's the sound that you want to hear.
How long does that take for the pop to happen?
Just it could do within seconds.
Okay.
It just depends on how hot the product, the jar, and the lid.
And so you buy new lids every time you can?
Yeah, you don't want to ever use now. The old people do.
Okay.
But I thought I wouldn't do that. She said, well, you can use them. They're fine. But you know, back in the day, they just didn't have throwaway stuff. They reused.
Right.
And they were successful. My mom, when she cans and she needs a hot jar, she just put it under the faucet and just run hot water. I bathe mine in this hot water, and hers stays. Mine didn't. So it's, I don't know what it is. We were just different, but she had her own method, and she would just let the hot water run and put a product in, and it'll seal, and it was a done deal. Just like some people now, your younger generations are using the pressure cooker canner, and you're making marvelous products out of it. But it's just something that was not good for me. And whatever is good for you, that's what we're gonna use. And because you'll like it, you'll be more comfortable with it, and you know what the end results are. My favorite thing to can. I don't know if I have a favorite. The green beans are the easiest. The tomatoes are big. It's several more steps because you have to get the skin off of the tomato. Some people peel it, and some people cut it off. I rather peel it off. And what I do is put the tomatoes in the sink, and I pour hot water on top of them and let them sit for just maybe 5 or 10 minutes. But you'll know, because you'll see the skin breaking away from the flesh. Well, you know now, all you have to do is let that water out of your sink and take your tomato and you just peel it all the way around. The skin comes out so easily. And that's when I dice them. But that's the longest one that I make in that. But another thing, I make CHOW. So that incorporates a lot of food. Because you have your green tomatoes, you have your cabbage, you have all assortments and colors of bell peppers, and also variety of hot peppers. So that's probably my longest one. Forgot about the relish. And after I do my green beans, the corn will be in. So I don't can corn. It doesn't work for me. It spews up in the jar. So it seals. But when I get up in the morning, you can see how it's working inside the jar. It's foaming up. Well, it's ruined. So I just cut the kernels off, the corn off the cob, and then I just put them in freezer bags. And it's just as good, just as good. But I like to see them in jars. It's a pretty thing. And you know that someone has gone through a lot of work, a lot of hard work for it. But I look forward to it. And you always want to, when you're doing food, and I guess you guys know that you want to cover your hair and make sure there's no hair in your product. So important. It really is. That's a long process too. It's sort of similar to your tomatoes. What you do is you cook your beets in the pans, and then you pour them out when they're real. The skin looks like it's getting ready to come away from the flesh. Then you pour it into your sink and in some cold water and just rub it. The skin should come off. And then that's when you slice them, and then you have your concoction of your vinegar, all your spices that you're going to use. You're going to have that already marinating in the water and the vinegar and the sugar. And usually I do this. I cook my beets in that pot there.
Wow, that sounds like it's time consuming.
That was, yeah, it is. And you just look, 50 pounds, that's a lot of beets.
That is.
That's a lot of beets. But I did it all in one day, won't do it again. Won't do it again. So I'll get 25. But I sell beets. I have customers that desire those, and so they got about 40 of them, 57. And they're waiting patiently on the CHOW. They said, let us know when you finish with all your candy, you're getting ready, so that she can, this one particular girl, she gets orders from people that buys it every year. It's a process. It's you got sugar in it, so it's going to be a little sticky. So you have to keep that in mind with your jars and making sure that you have your cloth so you can get rid of that, because you want that seal to seal. That is so important, because if not, you're going to waste your food unless you just give it away at that particular day and let them put it in the refrigerator, and it's good. It's not like it's not good. You just don't want to sit it around outside refrigerations. Processing, the snapping the beans, but you don't snap your beets. What you do is make sure they're washed. They come already pre-washed, but I always wash my products off and then placing them in hot water. So the instructions or directions are a whole lot more than the green beans. And you'll see as it cooks, as you know, are you guys cooks?
I cook.
Okay.
I cook.
You see, when it starts turning the green, it'll turn a different color green, and you'll know that it's ready. But this is whenever you want something that's really good and healthy for you, just eat your green beans. In the garden, T does the bell peppers, we do the green beans, we even do the corn, right off the cob. Best tasting corn ever in the garden. And tomatoes. Anything, peppers, you know, we just go out to the garden and wipe them off and just eat. After we jar them, then I bring them here, and this is when we put a teaspoon in the quarts.
Like after you put the beans.
Yeah, after I put the beans in. After I put the beans in. And this is this guy that worked with Nikki. He had a garden, and he gave me this recipe that he uses. He tore his, that's the stub, payment stub. He wrote this out for me, and it works for me. People give you recipes, and you just have to find out which one works for you. You want a good crisp boil for 20 minutes once they start boiling. Excuse me.
If someone's afraid to start canning, what would you tell them if they've never canned before, they've never watched, a family member do it?
They need to go to some person and watch them can and see the gratification they get when the next morning they wake up and roll your cover off your product and think, well, this is going to take us through the winter. Yeah.
Hot water bath. Yeah. And I think this is good. I think this is what people might find more doable.
Rewarding. And it's memories. My grandmother, my mom. So they're all here with me. See. My mom, whenever we did the corn, she and my dad, they're from Anderson, they would come up and T would go pluck the corn off the ear, off the stalks, and then he would put them in a wheelbarrow. My daddy would be on the porch out there, and he would shuck it. Then Mom and I would come in and silk it, and then we would boil them just a few seconds in some hot water, and then we cut them off the cob. And that's how I do now. But yeah, so now we've missed, when Mom died 5 years ago, and Dad died 7 years ago, we missed them. You don't find people doing it this way. This is just too hard, because you can, I guess with that, the canner process, the big one, I can do maybe, 3 runs instead of just one a day.
But then you have to have that
You have to have that pressure cooker. But you know what? You find people now that do have it, and that's what they're using, is that pressure cooker. But no, not me. I got in contact with some ladies in our church and also our friends' moms. I asked questions. I know when I was doing my tomatoes, I wanted Miss Booker to give me her recipe. And she did. She told me exactly how to do it. And I said, well, I'll call you tomorrow morning and let you know how they come out. She said, you don't have to call me tomorrow morning. I said, yes, I do. I want you to know how they come out. She said, they're going to stay in the jar. Don't call me. And it's been staying in the jar now about, 15 years. You'll put it in the refrigerator. You're good for a couple of weeks. And once you open the chow, a lot of people just leave it on the table. Back in the day, they just had the chow on their tables. But you find now this generation is putting them in the refrigerator. But you don't have to because you got the vinegar.
So it's just fermenting the more it sits.
The longer it sits, the better it is. I like to chop my vegetables up where you can see what you're eating. And you see your red bell peppers in there. You see your green tomatoes. And you even see cabbage. But this is hot. Okay, so we're going to turn on the lid. We just got this several months ago, so I'm having to really be cautious of this. So we're getting ready to warm up the seals of the lids. Because it's almost time here. See how pretty they are? And so you can take this and eat it. Yeah, it's so healthy for you. Even when you boil your corn, just drink. This is food. We're really taking the vitamins out of the food when we cook it. So
It's green bean stock.
that's right. There you go. Oops. Make sure that this is right. Rotating it. Making sure that what's on the top, it's going to go to the bottom. What's on the bottom will come to the top because it's already probably. But you don't want anything to stick. You want to just keep it moving. Okay. They're almost ready. I bought them from Target before. They're probably balls. Yeah, you want to, because what happened is a thinner glass,
Yeah, I see.
so you don't want it to crack or break in no time.
Is there another name brand that's not the ball that you would trust?
Kerr is a good one.
Okay.
That's an old one. Ball and Kerrs are the oldest ones. But if it doesn't have a name, don't put anything hot in it. You can put something cold.
Or
not hot.
fermentations.
And will you let me 2 more,
Yes.
please, ma'am? Let's get this over with. Okay, now what do I have you on? Let's put you on center. Product from the same company, you want to make sure it balances. You got ball and ball.
Okay.
That's just a pet peeve of mine. Okay, now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to make some pints, so I'm going to sterilize this. I had to learn that technique because I kept getting burned.
Yeah, you do it so effortlessly.
I learned. Now when you can, anytime you're messing with heat, you're going to get burned. You just try to limit as much as possible. Because everything you're dealing with, right, all this is hot. You can just hang it, it won't fall over or nothing. Isn't that cute?
Nice.
Yeah, you look for things like that. That's important. You can do that too, but you have to be careful with the pressure that you place on it, because you want to go down to the bottom as well. Uh-huh. All the way to the bottom. Let's put some liquid in here.
So are you used to the temperature? You don't really get hot? I feel like I would be
Oh no,
like,
I'm
oh
used
my,
to it.
it's so hot.
No, get used to it. And you can buy canning salt if you prefer, and a lot of people do. Old folks said just use that, baby. Just use the table salt. That's what they used. So
Not
that's
old
what
folks,
I do.
seasoned.
The seasoned.
Yes.
Seasoned folks. Is that a big mouth? Yeah, that's a big mouth.
Have you ever been in a pinch where you just freeze your food instead of canning it?
The only thing I freeze is, now, yes, and I'm gonna tell you when that happens. When I do my tomatoes, process that, so what I do is just peel them. I have a tomato peeler, and quarter them and put them in a freezer bag. And that's generally, because I don't wanna see nothing waste, you know? And, but I'm tired of canning. So it's just a whole lot easier for me to just put it in a Ziploc bag, and it's just as good. I just like to see the beauty in the jars.
We had some tomatoes that we froze, but we left the skins on. Or I say we, someone else froze them, but I would have done the same thing. Left the skins on, and then,
Oh no! When you cook them.
yeah, you can really taste those skins. They
Yeah.
get so hard.
Yes.
Like an apple skin.
But did you not see them in there when they were cooking the skin? Because it usually separates.
Oh, I saw.
That's
And I ate anyway. That's
You
the
ate 'em
worst
in?
part. I just didn't know what freezing them, would change in the texture.
Lily, how many servings would you say is in one of these jars?
Ooh. Probably 4.
Okay.
Probably 4.
So you not only have to wipe it off, you have to dry it for a
You
tight seal.
want to make sure there's nothing on it. Yes. They'll pop in a minute or two. That's a small one. Let's put this in here.
You make this look so easy, but I know when I try to do it at home, I'm going to be like,
Well, I'll be right there with you. You don't have to worry about a thing. If you run out of liquid, you can also always use your, this is sterile water, so you can use some of that water.
Oh yeah, I need water. Oh, thanks.
There you go.
It's looking good.
Mm-hmm. Good job.
Now I need to knife it because I think I have too many greens.
That's okay. We can take some out. You wanna go all the way to the bottom too.
Oh.
All the way to the bottom. There you go. You see that? If you come over, you can see some of the air bubbling.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
A
It's
little more
not.
water.
Make a little more. Good. Be careful, that's hot.
Ta-da!
Good. I'm glad you asked.
Who's next?
Yeah.
I'm just, you know,
Okay.
facilitating.
Okay, so I did this and
The
this.
movement.
Okay, did you do the song?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can go.
Gonna take a jar
going
out.
for the tongs, the jar lifter.
Careful. Hold it real tight. There you go.
Oh, look at that water drain.
And see how burned you? It'll come down. That's the way you get burned. It just comes with the territory. Okay, good.
Okay. Here come the greens.
Here, you want to put this in?
Alright.
Put your little cup in. And you might have to tilt the pot because we're at the very bottom.
Bottom of the barrel, y'all.
We are.
What is this? The third scoop? We got a tinier jar than before.
Yes, this is a pint.
So if you're not a family, maybe you want a can in pints.
That's right. And there, if I want just for one serving for T and I just do the pints. And I've also learned to do that with my tomatoes when I'm making the sauce for spaghetti or whatever. I use the pints because I don't need a whole quart.
Gotcha. These,
Okay. No problem.
okay, that's gonna stay there.
Excuse me, let me put this on. You might have to spoon some of that out. Because you don't want to go, I'm sorry, you don't want it to go, you know what, you might be okay. You don't want to go beyond that neck, which is here.
Okay, yeah, that might be too many. Too much liquid, maybe?
Maybe too much liquid. Yeah, let's just take a little out. Okay.
Some troubleshooting.
Okay, that's perfect.
Oh,
That's perfect.
no.
Now you want to bring it over here. And okay, just a half of that because it's a pint.
Half. Half of this.
Yes, half. I'm
Okay.
gonna put- That's
Say
good.
it as I
That's
pour
good.
in a pool.
Now you can just leave it because I'll do it the next one, okay? And you just wipe that rim off.
Look at that precision.
Yeah, you guys are good. If I ever get to the point where I can't remember, I know where I can come.
Exactly. We'll take the
Sustaining
recipe.
weight videos.
Yeah.
This will be on our YouTube channel, maybe.
And take your lid.
Oh, so you dry off the lid too?
I dry the lid off.
Okay.
And let me get your ring.
It's sealing.
And there's your hot rim.
And do we have to dry that?
No, you don't have to dry that. You're good.
Dry the lid, but you do not have to dry the top.
Okay, is it real tight?
I think so.
Okay, good, very good.
Could have been
All right.
tighter, it turns out. Okay.
All right, so we got enough to do one more.
I think you're next.
B plus.
You're next, Alicia. Are you gonna get an A?
You good? There you go, use your knife. And that's a good way to pack it as well.
That's my favorite part.
You can put maybe a little more beans in there. And if you need more soup, I can get you some more soup out of here.
I think I will.
Okay, no problem. this is stir water, so it's good. Okay, just stir those beans around in there. Mm-hmm.
How can you tell if a can has gotten contaminated? Would you see a color change? in it,
You'll see it bubbling at the bottom. You'll see the bubbles coming up, and then you'll see the coloration of the broth there is not, it's darkened. Mm-hmm. So you know, and you can see it fizzing. You'll see it fizzing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that'll happen overnight. Okay, looks good. You let it rain for you, okay?
That's perfect amount, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now the knife.
Okay. Go. Get your air pockets out all around. There you go. Very good. Okay, wipe off the, did you wipe that off already? Okay, make sure we don't have the salt or any other things off the top of it too. That's it. Mm-hmm. Now take your cloth and wipe off the top. Good, very good. All right, and here's your lid. I'm gonna do something right there before you put the lid on. I wanna make sure that nothing touched that rim. Very good.
And I wipe this.
Mm-hmm. Put your seal on there. And here's your ring, just tighten it up. And I think I got room for another one.
Oh wait.
I got enough. Make sure you have enough water. Okay, I'll let you get it out of the hot water bath. Pint size. So this will be good for a single person, or if you want to just have one serving for 2 people, that should be enough with your other dishes that you have. Are you a cook? Not yet.
Very nice. Bottom of the barrel.
At the bottom. Raking the bottom of the pan. Scraping it.
And the best.
Yes.
The best.
The best.
Been marinating in the green bean stock.
I know. Good job.
Thank you.
See, you guys are professional after one sight.
What a good teacher.
No, Lord, no.
You taught us everything we know.
Literally.
Getting the air bubbles.
And like I said, you can use a butter knife or a long handled spoon, but you want to make sure you get to the bottom. And go all around. That's good.
It's under the rim. Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah, it is perfect. She's Miss Perfection anyway. Okay, so this one's off. Okay, here's your last one. There's your rim. Did you put your salt in already?
No,
Okay, we'll put the salt in. You're just gonna use half of that. That's good. That's good. Okay, and you got your paper towel. Mhm. Okay, and turn your paper towel over again, and then do just the top of the rim. Because a lot of times you might spill some of the salt around the neck of that. And that is perfect. You want to wipe it off? Not with that, with your cloth. Dry it off. And you want to dry this off to your ring because you just finished putting the water on it. Good. And here's your top. Okay, so now we're ready. Once you have jarred all of your products, your vegetables, what you want to do with the green beans, we put them back in the hot water bath and we cook them an additional 45 minutes. There you are. Taking them out, we're going to put them in. And this canner will only hold 7. Either wide mouth or the small. And I'm going to show you something too when I finish. A lot of people use, it's got a tray in the canner itself where you can set these around, but I think you can only do 6. So I like just doing the 7. So I don't use it, but you can use it, it's good. You might have to take some of the water out of this. Make sure this is on high. And I think I got it on high. Good.
You want me to get you some water?
And you see how you hold this as well to make sure.
Oh, okay.
To make sure it's right. No, I'm gonna take some water out.
You're
of
gonna
here.
take some water out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can easily slip, and once it slips, it'll break. And that's a meal gone. And what you want to do is, you want to make sure they do not touch each other. We just barely want it over the rims, the tops of them, okay?
Another pot.
You can use any pot works for you. And see, back in the day, the seasoned people, they had this. This is old product. They had the speckle.
That's
But I'm gonna show you. You see that blue there?
Yeah.
The cups. That was the color of it. Now it arrived to this. A little more gray in it, but that's original. What you gotta can at the same time.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say they won't do, but see, they'll be cool. Your jaws will be cool, and you want them hot. And we're gonna let this cook for 45 minutes. So, what time will it be? Let's see, 10:30. Be what, 11:15? Okay. No, they're at your.
I wish our canning is a success.
Can we come? Can we come watch us? Yeah. And see, you not only watched, you did.
No better way to learn.
That's right. Hands-on. And you see, I'm real careful. I don't trust this thing, so I hold it really tight. So when you get yours, you make sure you guys do that.
These haven't popped yet, have they?
Okay, now, do you see that? Look at that bulge. Feel that. That's what's got to go down.
Okay.
Oh, this one just popped.
Oh, cool.
She just popped.
Oh, yeah, you see the indentation.
See that?
Uh-huh.
But see, that one has not. Not neither of these.
And you flip these over, correct?
I don't flip mine over.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Yeah, he flips his over. We did a lot of work today.
Wow, you had everything prepped so well.
Well, you know, like I said, I have to.
There
There
goes
goes.
one.
Did you hear it, Danielle?
Which one was it?
I don't know.
Maybe
That is.
Oh,
That one's down. This one's not down, but But you can see those are still up.
Okay.
These are up too. But yeah, they'll sing a song. Cool. Solo in here. Okay, everything is off. Okay, guys.
Oh, good night.
Good night, you guys. It's been nice.
Now do you sing to them?
You sweet. As the lady said, stay in the jar.